Hey there, everybody. Welcome. Let's talk a little bit more about Adobe Express Beta and all of the amazing new changes that the Adobe Express team has put into this software. So if we look here, we have a lot of new options that involve AI. As you may have heard, Adobe Firefly is Adobe's AI tool that they've been using and promoting for a few months now, and now you can use that right in Adobe Express. We can do the text to image function, which is generating images from detailed text descriptions, as well as text effects where you can apply different styles or textures to letter forms with simply a text prompt. So let's go ahead and see how we can use this by designing our own album cover. I'm going to go to the start sign and I'm going to type album cover, which I get right here, and I'm going to start by opening that template, and we have a blank canvas. Now, you can probably notice here that there's a lot of different changes comparatively to the last Adobe Express iteration. We still have our templates, so we still can go through and look at different album covers if we were to search that, but in media now, they've grouped different categories. So we actually have audio, video choices, which is amazing. We can search through stock video, as well as photo choices. We have text right here, as you can see. We can add our own text or use our AI generated text, as well as grouped elements, as you can see here as well. So we're going to go ahead and go to media, and I'm going to go to photos, and instead of uploading a photo or using something from Adobe Stock, I'm going to do text to image. And when I do that, I'm going to go ahead and pick a square image. It's going to give me a placeholder, and now I'm going to describe a futuristic musician in front of a very dark, smoky, technical speaker setup. Let's see what happens. And the great thing about AI is if you don't like your prompt, you can continue to cycle through, you can change the text that you're telling it, and do some really amazing stuff with it. So we're cycling through. There we go. We can hit load more. It's going to keep generating our elements. Give it a few seconds and see. So let's say from the back. Let's see. So we can just see the back of our musician. Yeah, there we go. Some really cool options now. Let's see what the other ones are. Very, very cool. So you can kind of cycle through your different shots. And again, I really like this first one. Let's go with that. Now what I'm going to do is, now that I have that, you can see I can scale this. I can play with blending modes. I can add different effects. This is a really great part too, because I can go through and change the basic text effects. So if I want to go to my adjustments and, play with that saturation, maybe add a little oversaturation and a little more coolness to it, and then sharpen that image a little bit, I can do so. This gives me complete control of this image in the sense of now I can kind of take it from that AI world and still use my art skills to make it my own. Let's grab the background and let's change the background color. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and hit background color at the top and go to our swatches, and we can even use some of the background colors that we see in our awesome artwork to kind of explore the different takes on what we can do. So maybe we'll go up here to this darker tone. I like that. Awesome. All right, so we're going to move this over to the side here just to get some off-center look. And I may use my shape tool, so I'm going to go down to my elements, grab a shape, and I'm going to look for different shapes in here. Maybe get that triangle, looks kind of cool. I don't know if I want the curved triangle. Let's try the curved triangle. And I'm going to hover around it and hold my shift key to snap. And we're going to just kind of create a little bit of just dynamic masking here. We may use it, we may not. We'll see how it goes. So let's grab that color. And again, I can use the colors in my scene. I can use that eyedropper tool to quickly do that. Let's see. maybe just to get a little bit of edge right there. I like that. All right. So now we're going somewhere. Let's go ahead and add some text. And so let's add the text. Let's go to add text, and we'll call this sound machine. Helps if I can spell. All right. We'll do a little underscore in there to make it, let's see what that looks like. All right, we get our kind of suggested font types. I'm going to go with this one. We're going to go ahead and use that new generative text here to make this a little bit more intense. And let's go and do that. So now I can go into my individual text layer and go to the text effects, and it's going to say, what do you want this to look like? So maybe I want this to be a tangled wires. Let's see. And we can say tight, medium, or loose. This is just how detailed it's going to be. So this is going to go through and it's going to give us some options. And it takes a second to kind of click in there. But as you can see, I really like these kind of tangled wires. So I can kind of load through that. I can change my typeface as I go. And I also have sample effects that I can put in. The really cool part about this, if I click away, you can see this is getting a little lost. And I love that it did the little underscore too. That's really cool. I'm going to go ahead and add a shape. So I can still add specific shapes that I used previously in Adobe Express to this. So maybe not yellow. So I'll click on the Edit Shape Fill. And let's just play around again with some of the colors in our scene. So maybe this kind of off color here, this kind of peach color. And again, we can play with those different setups. We can click on it. We can play with the shape size. We can even have, that looks kind of cool, complete kind of underbar there. And let's find a different color here. White's a little aggressive, maybe a lighter blue. And this is the fun part now, is because I'm using AI, I can focus my time on the other parts of this design and really get this to look like I want it to. That looks kind of cool. And again, through a couple clicks here, we have a really cool album cover ready to go. So let's do yellow there. Just pull in some yellow so we can kind of see. Look at that. So cool, so easy to use. If you don't want this to look like wires and we want this to look like motherboards, let's see what that comes out as. We can quickly with the click of a button. Sure enough, I love that one right there. Give it a few seconds and all of our text is motherboards. And if we go ahead and zoom in, let's zoom in a couple percentages here. Use our spacebar key. Zoom down. You can see our really cool machines. So again, if you're noticing that you're getting a little artifacting, you can go and create the tight effect and regenerate that. You can also change your typeface. Again, the thicker the typeface, the better this typically works. You can see now with the tight effect, that's looking really, really good. And we can even add things like drop shadow now, which I absolutely love. Kind of pick a darker version of that yellow. You can even go to more colors, and obviously you can check any colors you wish. So let's just scroll down just a little bit just so that pops, and X out when we're ready. And there we go, everybody. And I'm getting excited here, dragging and dropping things. We're going to drag this sponge text in by accident, but no biggie. We can just hit delete there. All right. We, in a matter of seconds, have created a pretty cool setup when it comes to this album cover. So again, using AI can still keep the artistry in, and the ability to kind of edit and add your own touch to things. We can go ahead and hit download and download this to PNG, JPEG, or PDF. This is ready to go, thumbnail ready, and again, all our unique artwork. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. I can't wait to go over some of the other new features of Adobe Express.